Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Now then, on today's video we are going to be looking at this beast. It's an FTX Ramraider. It's a 1/10 scale brushless basher. Now this has very kindly been donated to the channel for review by my brother. Now he's recently got into the hobby again after watching all my videos, and he's got hooked again and he's gone full bore into it, and today he's gone out and purchased himself one of these. Now this is probably the most expensive RC I've ever tested on the channel up to date. It retails at 250 quid, which is about $310 for our American brethren. I will leave some links in the description. Like I say, it's a 1/10 scale brushless basher. It's got a 3650 2500 kV motor in it, so I bet this thing is going to shift. Like I say, he's not had it out of the box, he's literally given it to me. The plastic is still on the shell. It must have absolutely killed him waiting for me to do this review on it before he could play with it. But anyway, enough waffle. It's that big, I could barely fit the box on my desk. Enough waffle from me. Let's get into it and let's have a look at this thing. I am dying to see what this thing is like. Right then, in the box we have one transmitter, and it looks as though it's got steering dual rate, throttle dual rate. We've got a steering trim, throttle trim, we've got a bind button, we've got two switches here which I think reverse the controls, both the throttle and the steering. We've got a little switch on here, I'm not sure what that does yet. Feels quite a chunky, solid control, but you'd like to think so at 250 quid. And I believe it takes 4 AA batteries, obviously, which you have to supply. Now, we've also got in the box, we've got some instructions. We've got a nice posh wheel hex. We've got a mains charger with a Euro plug as well, which is very unusual. We've got a LiPo in a LiPo bag, which is a nice touch. Again, you can see where your 250 quid's going. A little 3S power pack. 350 milliamp hours, 3S, so it'll go like a bugger, this will. And last but not least, oh, I'm going to have to clear some spaces up there. I don't think I can fit it on the flipping desk. Last but not least, we've got the truck itself. Now look at that, that is absolutely epic. He's had the green one, obviously. Plastic still on it, I'll let him pull that off. But look at that, first impressions are, what an absolute beast it is. Alloy oil shocks all round. We've got metal drive shafts with little CVD joints at each end. This thing looks absolutely epic. We've got metal plates underneath to support and, you know, strengthen the chassis, because it is a basher, this thing. Let's get the lid off and have a look at the gubbins inside. I'm not going to strip this one down or anything. There's going to be no tear down with this, because listen, it doesn't belong to me. And if anyone's going to mess with it, my brother is. Tyres feel nice and soft and compliant. And there must be foams in there. Look at the size of it. Right, let's get this body shell off and have a look underneath. Right then, underneath that beautifully finished green shell, we've got some quality gear underneath here. We'll start with the motor, 3650. I think it was 2500 kV. We've got a 50 amp brushless ESC. Got a 6 kilogram steering servo up the front here, which is taking care of our steering. I believe there's a receiver in this little box here, and I don't know if you can tell there, it's got little R clips to hold the cover on. I'll have a look in there in a minute, I think. We've got a Dean's connector for our batteries. We've also got, this is a nice touch actually, we've got a clear plastic cover that covers the, I think it's a slipper clutch inside possibly, and R clips there as well, so obviously it's quick release. So I suppose if you wanted to get the motor out, change the pinion, it's a dead straightforward, simple affair. We've got some absolutely fantastic and plush feeling blue alloy oil shocks there, and adjustable turnbuckles for the steering, and on the rear we can adjust the angle to which we have the wheels, etc. Nice big fat wheelie bar, I think we're going to need that. And there's front lights, front and rear lights on this thing as well. And I think, yeah, there's some on the shell as well. Look at that. I tell you what, this shell is absolutely beautifully finished. No matter what you say about FTX, the bodywork on them is always finished dead nice. Like I say, I'm not going to do a tear down on this thing. We're just going to basically check it over and then try it, because it's doesn't belong to me. And I really don't want to. He's desperate to use this thing, and I don't want to mess anything up. But this thing looks absolutely epic. Anyway, enough waffle. I'm dying to see what this thing is like, so we can just take it out for a rip. I've got the Bluetooth GPS strapped to the car. Let's see what this thing will do on rough ground on 3S. Flat, flat, flat. We have got 33 miles an hour on 3S, which is the battery it comes with, which I think is pretty respectable really. What about you guys? Right then, back inside, what do we think of FTX's Ramraider here? Well, at this rate, I'm going to have to get a bigger desk if these RCs are going to get bigger. Anyway, let's have some pros and cons. Now, my brother did most of the driving, but we've had a bit of a conflab, and this is what we've come up with. Let's start with the cons first. Out of the box, the steering is a bit shonky. It may need some adjustment. There's more lock one way than the other, which does affect it when you're driving it. Not much, though. But that does need looking at. Also, the steering servo on this isn't the quickest. It's a little bit laborious at times, but again, it didn't stop us from having a laugh with it. It wasn't really that apparent. So I'm really clutching at straws. There isn't really much I don't like about this thing. One of the other things we did notice is there's a little the spur gear cover at the back, that little clear cover. It's let a bit of crap in, so you're probably going to get a little bit of dirt and detritus in the spur gear and the pinion gear, so you'll have to keep your eye on that. But to be honest, that's the only negative things we could think about this. Right, let's have some pros. The runtime with the supplied 3S battery is pretty good. Plenty of punch, plenty quick enough. What's not to like? We've seen some videos where people have got sort of 37 miles an hour with this thing on 3S on a flat hard surface. So I think we got about 32, 33 mile an hour off road with it, which is pretty good. Like I say, it's plenty quick enough for what we were using it for. I mean, it's not a particularly high kV motor, so if you know in the future if you did want to put something a bit more punchy in, you could. But even on 2S, there's plenty of fun on 2S, to be honest. Another good point is the handling and the steering of this thing is quite neutral, and the shocks do an excellent job of absorbing all the bumps. We didn't really have an issue with it. I mean, it pretty much goes where you point it. Like I say, the handling is quite neutral, so it allows you to sort of correct mid-corner. Even though the steering, like I say, it's a bit slow, it didn't really affect it that much. So this thing has got decent handling. And the last good point I've got written down on my list, and it's probably the most important one, is this thing is fun to pilot round. It's put a smile on my brother's face, and to be honest, that's all that matters. I mean, it's not the cheapest RC that I've ever featured on this channel, but I dare say for what it is, it's not the most expensive. My brother says he's seen them for about 210 quid, so you know, bargains are available. This, I think, this normal retail is about 250 for these, but you do get a hell of a lot of RC for your money. I mean, it is a fair thing. I mean, it's probably comparable ride quality and speed to an MT10 roughly. Whether durability is the same, I couldn't tell you. Only long term will tell that. But for what it is, it's a good solid all-round truck. Right then, conclusion time. Would I recommend the FTX Ramraider to you guys? And I'm going to say on the balance of things, yes. Nothing broke, nothing fell off. We had a bloody good laugh with it. It's plenty fast enough. I think if you got 250 quid to spend on a 1/10 scale basher, I think you could do a lot worse. It was it was entertaining. We enjoyed ourselves. What more could you ask for? As usual, there will be a link in the description to where you can get this from. And as ever, if you found the video of some use and interest, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're feeling that way inclined, hit that subscribe button for more similar future content. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you again very, very soon.